I am Dr. Radha Lakshmi, Associate Professor of Zoology, working in 3V Vaniya Perumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Now I am going to discuss about food preservation. Now let's see what is food preservation. Food preservation is processing of food to prevent it from spoilage. A very common example is storage of apples and vegetables in the refrigerators of our homes. This helps the foods to be kept fresh in the refrigerators. That means the spoilage of foods is totally prevented, and also it helps to store the foods in good condition for a longer period of time. So this is preservation of food. And let us see the primary objectives. When the foods are placed in favorable temperatures, the growth of bacteria, fungi and other microorganisms that cause the spoilage of food products is totally prevented. So the fruits or the vegetables, they are placed in refrigerators, they are fresh for a longer period of time. Also the fruits and vegetables, when they are preserved properly, they can be transported very safely. Also the taste and quality of food is retained. And in case of all the seasonal vegetables and fruits, we could have the continuous supply of those fruits and vegetables throughout the year. Now let's see about the methods of food preservation. First method is drying, and the second one refrigeration, third is freezing, fourth one is canning, fifth one is pasteurization. And these are all the physical methods. Now let's see the first method, drying. Drying means the removal of water content in the foods. When the water content or the moisture is completely removed from the food products, the bacteria, yeast and other microbes, they will not be able to grow on such food products. So it's a very good method of food preservation. A very common example is drying red chilies in the sun during hot summer, or dry roasting chilies in kadai without adding oil. Commercially also, dehydration or drying could be done, and this is done in large scale, and it is when they use many machines, and so it's called as mechanical dehydration or artificial drying. The second physical method of food preservation is refrigeration. In the refrigerators kept in our homes, we store the food at a temperature between 0 and 8 degrees centigrade. So the freshness of the food is completely retained. The quality, nutrients, the taste, flavor, all the good characters of the food products are retained. Automatically, due to the low temperature, the growth of microorganisms causing the spoilage of food products is slowed down. So we could keep the food products for a longer period of time in the refrigerators. Now let us see the next method. It's freezing. This method keeps the food materials at a still lower temperature, that is below 0 degrees centigrade. This temperature is attained in the freezers of our refrigerators. So what happens in the freezers? At such a low temperature of below 0 degrees centigrade, the microbes, they become inactive. They will not be able to grow and multiply. That is, we could say, microbes, they enter dormant stage. So it helps to preserve the food for a longer period of time compared to that of other methods, as they prevent the growth of microorganisms. So our health will be promoted and food wastage can be prevented. The next method of preservation is canning or bottling. As the name implies, we could say it's preservation in metal cans or storing the food products in bottles, glass bottles. The procedure is, air is completely removed from the containers when it is heated, and after that the jar or the container is cooled to the room temperature, and then a vacuum is created inside the containers and is sealed perfectly. This vacuum seal will not allow the microbes to enter into the containers, and so all the food products stored in the metal cans or the glass jars will be protected. This method completely inactivates the enzymes in the food materials which cause food spoilage. So the food material is preserved. Next, let us see an example for canning fish. Normally, fish when they are kept in the room temperature, they become rotten within a short period of time. That is within a period of 12 hours. This method of canning fish provides a shelf life range of 1 to 5 years. Shelf life period refers to the storage time. The fishes are processed at higher temperature of 113 to 160 degrees centigrade. Normally we know the water boiling point is 100 degrees centigrade. So the processed and cut fish pieces, they are processed at a higher temperature of 113 to 160 degrees centigrade. Then they are perfectly sealed in airtight containers and heated at a specific temperature according to the type of fishes. Here we could see the flow charts. They take a fish, they clean it, they clean the scales, then they process them, then they clean them with clear essential amount of water, then they add oil, salt, and then again they clean up the head, tail regions, etc. and then they again place them in oil, and then all the cut pieces, they will be processed in the particular temperature. Then they will be adding oil, again they will add salts, flavors, etc. and then they will have the can lids for sealing processes, but everything will be done in a machine, and so the machine automatically seals the can using the can lids, using the using the seamer. Then it is autoclaved, completely steam sterilized. Autoclaving is steam sterilization, and then the fish are, now we could say that fishes are canned properly. The next method is pasteurization. This is particularly used in sterilizing milk. Sterilization is the complete removal of all the microbes. So this process involves heating milk at a higher temperature but for a short period of time, and this process has the advantage of killing all the harmful microbes in the milk, but the quality of milk, the taste of the milk, the flavor of the milk is not at all spoiled. So the milk is now ready to be preserved. And regarding the chemical methods, first one is salting, second one is sugaring, third one is marinating. Salting is the process of adding salt and removing the water content in the food materials. When the water content is completely removed, the food products or the foods, they get dry. This automatically helps to decrease the growth of bacteria. Normal example, dry fish and pickles. Sugaring. Addition of sugar also removes the water content in the food and it helps to preserve food for a longer time. Example, we could see the preparation of jams and jellies using fruits. The next process is marinating. It's a process of soaking the foods using marinades before cooking, that is during the previous night. Marinades, let's see what are marinades. The components in marinades are cooking oil, an acidic liquid or citrus juice, example citrus juice, lime juice, flavoring agents like garlic, honey, dried herbs and spices. Normally in our homes, our mothers used to marinate chicken the previous night before cooking the chicken pieces. Soaking the chicken pieces in lime juice or thyme or acidic liquid and flavors like ginger, garlic, all these materials, when all these components, when they are added to the chicken pieces, they are said to be marinated. This makes the chicken soft and it will have more aroma while cooking. And the physico-chemical method of food preservation is smoking using wood. It adds flavor to the meat. Normally it's for the flesh of goat, and it can be used for the chicken pieces and other non-vegetarian foods. It helps the meat items or the flesh parts of the animals to be completely dehydrated. That is, the water content is completely removed. Bacterial growth is prevented. So, the meat or the flesh products of all the animals, they can be preserved very well. And then the biological method, we could say, very common example is fermentation. It is the conversion of carbohydrate in foods to alcohol or organic acid using the microbes in the absence of air. A very common example is preparation of idli batter, preparation of bread. In the preparation of idli batter, we don't add bacteria or yeast, but when we mix the batter using our hands, a lot of microbes in our hands will be released into the batter, and it makes the batter soft and retain its quality. The same way, preparation of bread, they make use of yeast. It is used in bakeries to make the flour puffy and soft.